Hi everyone, I'm Bihan and today I'll be discussing about static methods and members in Java. Okay, so first of all, what are static methods and members in Java? Okay, so suppose I have this class, this is my public class here, okay, and main function is empty data, and this is a demo class A which has an instance variable X, a constructor, and a static function that returns hello world. So here I'm sure you have already seen this. If I write the class name dot, I can access the hello function without creating an instance of that class. So basically static methods are those functions that we can access directly through the class and not through the instances. That means we don't need to create instances to access those functions. And same goes for the static members, that is we can access those variables through the class. So suppose I have another variable here, static int y, okay, and I write let's say void inc which increments the value. Okay, so now let me write two objects here. Okay, ax equals to new a. Okay, I don't need this, and value of x doesn't matter here. Now see, if I write a dot, I don't see the inc function. That is because the inc function is not static. Okay, so I need to access it through x and y. So if I do inc and I do y dot inc, okay, so after doing that, if I print out y, that is x dot y, and okay, let me write out dot, it should be y dot y. Sorry for the naming. This starting ay, x and y are the object names, and this y is the member function. Okay, now if we print this, or instead of doing that, I, because it gives me a warning that static field should be accessed in a static way, I'm accessing it through an instance of that class. So let me write this. Okay, so if I run this now, you can see both of them becomes 2. That is, initially I incremented y from x and it became 1, from 1 to it became 2. Okay, oh my bad, sorry, it became 1. Initially it was 0. Okay, so it became 1, and after that y incremented it and it became 2. Now it changed for both the instances. It didn't change only for one instance, right? If it were an instance variable, then the output would have been 1, because for x it would be independent of y and for y it would be independent of x. But for class variables or the static members, these static members are for the class. So whenever we change it through an instance or from the class, that doesn't matter. There's only one variable in the memory allocated. Okay, so there's only one variable present in the memory and all the instances point to that variable only. Okay, so for each instance a new variable is not created for the static members, and the same goes for the static functions. We cannot call a instance method or use an instance variable inside a static method. Okay, why is that? Okay, let me clear this out and let me show you a quick example here. Okay, so this is the constructor, I don't need this. Suppose I have static int get x. Okay, so if I return x now, see, it gives me an error. Cannot make a static reference to non-static field x. Now this is obvious. Why is it obvious? Because see, I haven't created an instance right now, right? And x is an instance variable. So I don't know what value x is, right? But I can write this. I can write a dot get x without creating an instance. Now if I run this, the compiler doesn't know, JVM doesn't know what to return, because x is an instance variable and we haven't created an instance. Or if we did create an instance, let me make it 6, I don't know why. Okay, after that x and y. Now if I do a dot get x, even after doing that, JVM doesn't know whether to return 5 or 6. For x it has 5 in it and for y it has 6 in it, right? So that is why, due to this contradiction, it is not allowed to access instance variables and methods inside static methods. Okay, Now, one thing to note is that I've seen this misconception is that some say that the static members memory is allocated during the compile time. Now, this is not true. That is because, let me clear this out. Let me just return 5 or it will give me error here. Okay, so no memory is ever allocated during the compile time because it is not possible. Suppose I'm compiling it. Okay, what is the static? Okay, there you go. It is compiled. No memory is allocated in the RAM, right? Now I can shut down my computer right now and again restart it and everything's deallocated and fresh. There's no memory allocation involved in compile time. When we run the program using Java static methods and functions, after I run this program, all the classes are loaded into the JVM. Okay, and I mean all the static members and methods are loaded into the JVM, and then each line is executed one after another. Okay, so after that we can access all the static methods and members of the class, but nothing is allocated during the compile time. Okay, so I think this is clear. And if you have any doubts regarding static methods and members and why we can't use instance variables and methods inside static methods, let me know. And one thing to note is that main is a static method, right? So, and this is an obvious thing if you haven't noticed yet. That is, this main method is a static, so we don't need to create an object to call this main. I can simply write static method dot. Okay, let me write it inside. As you can see, main is here. Okay, so doing that would create an infinite loop here, but whatever. See, it created an infinite loop here, then threw me with an error. Okay, whatever. So as you can see, I didn't create an object for this class, right? I just called the main function through here. So yeah, if you have any doubts or queries, please let me know, and I'll be creating more videos on this Java concepts. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and like my video if you have liked it. And yeah, see you in the next video.